Documenting volunteers in Keelung practice drone operations in a training course. We meet fashion designers who redesign old clothes into fashionable new items. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. Due to the epidemic, aerial photography training courses for documenting volunteers were suspended for 3 months. These courses finally reopened.
The clear blue sky shows it is a good day for flying drones. Because of the epidemic, there's a 3-month suspension for aerial photography classes. As documenting volunteers finally restarted, going to a nearby fishing port to regain the feel for flying drones.
The itinerary for outdoor filming is to make everyone more directly familiar with drone operations and develop a personal relationship. This will prevent crashes or missing drones.
The 2-day course has 3 external shooting venues to ensure that the students can fly safely in various environments. Tzu Chi volunteer Li Chengtai, a volunteer fireman, feels there's a deeper meaning for him to learn how to record such beautiful scenery.
Firefighters must be on the front line to get the picture. All of the Tzu Chi volunteers can't enter the disaster area, so I wanted to use these drones for disaster relief. If I teach one person, we may have a chance to save more people.
We first give them the principles of drone photography and the controller and the power issues. First we teach a few, and then it slowly spreads to others like seeds.
In order to successfully obtain the qualified operator certificate, everyone is concentrating and practicing as they all await the day to have the freedom to freely explore the beautiful sky.
Because of the epidemic, classes at Tzu Chi Liaison Office in Puqi, Banqiao were suspended for half a year. Now the office has been upgraded to a long-term care center and classes have resumed.
The seniors have not attended class for half a year, but they are still very active when attending class. Grandma Xu Han is doing aerobic exercise with muscle training on the stage. She is not out of breath and can even smile happily.
I'm 92 years old. My health results from doing exercise.
After the epidemic situation slowed down, Tzu Chi Liaison Office in Puqi, Banqiao has been upgraded from the original community care station to the long-term care center. Courses are reopened to care for the seniors' spiritual and physical health.
I hope the neighbors and seniors of our borough can join the course of delaying the onset of dementia in our center. I also hope to drive the entire community to care for these disadvantaged seniors.
There are courses resuming and also new classes. In the Jinshi Books and Cafe in Linkou, seniors meet and make new friends.
6分钟，请你去找5个好朋友，很有气质的。哦，所以我们的这位新朋友的优点就是很有气质，对不对？谢谢啦。
After getting familiar with each other, they start to warm up their body.
膝夹腿，慢慢提，慢慢提，绕过头。
After attending this exercise lesson, our body becomes better. If we continue to practice it, that would be very helpful to our body.
During the lesson, volunteers also promote the concept of vegetarianism and water conservation. The course combines Tzu Chi's humanitarianism and professionalism together so that the seniors can maintain a good physical and mental health.
On Long Island, Tzu Chi has worked together with a local church to distribute food for families in need.
The long queue of cars are all residents looking to receive food donations because this possibly is what the family has to eat for the week.
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock.
While some arrive early in the morning, others arrive because they need to feed their children.
Kids? How many kids do you have?
5 kids.
5 kids?
Yeah.
So you live in the neighborhood?
This is...
Oh, okay. So, do you work?
No, not yet.
How's the food help you family?
That's good. That's good.
That's enough?
Yeah.
90% of the recipients are new immigrants and work part-time jobs for a living. Many have lost their jobs due to COVID-19. St. Anne's Church hosts weekly food distributions, and it's obvious the number of those who come by to pick it up are increasing.
I'm coming here for every Thursday because I have 3 months don't working. I don't help the cover too, nothing. Entonces, this is for her, for me, for my family. God bless you. Thank you so much for the people, for the country. Okay?
Yeah,
Gracias.
Okay.
Gracias. Gracias.
Monthly customers that we had was like 500. You see, later in April we had already 2,000, and in May we had over 5,000. And then we realized more people were coming, and then when people were less working, then they needed more support, so we got this little bit of that chain of support.
Tzu Chi volunteers have been providing the church with masks and other supplies since April, and then beginning in June, they began to provide fresh produce every other week to supplement what the church lacks for their food distribution.
They basically receive canned goods, rice and cooking oil, so we supplement what they lack. We add fresh fruit and produce to help while encouraging them to eat more vegetables and less meat.
借由这样子的一个蔬果的发放，能够带动他们多吃素，少吃肉。
Some of the recipients are unable to leave their home to pick up the weekly supply. Thus, the church volunteers and Tzu Chi personally deliver it.
But this is fresh vegetable and fruit inside. That's for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
50-some-year-old Maria and her family have not earned any income during the COVID period. She suffers from back and knee problems for 3 years now, and it has severely impacted her life and work. Without legal documentation, she does not qualify for the country's COVID economic stimulus relief payments.
She wasn't able to receive any type of benefits in that. Plus, when you think about work, people who are undocumented are at most risk of being laid off and not being able to work. Like, she was sick and she couldn't work, and her employer just decided to let her go.
Undocumented immigrants like Maria in need of help have drastically increased since COVID-19 began. Tzu Chi hopes to get closer to the residents and provide some mental support as well as humanitarian aid.
Dominican Republic has lifted the anti-epidemic curfew regulations. Tzu Chi continue to cooperate with many local organizations to distribute food boxes to impoverished households.
La maestra Chengye es una maestra budista. La filosofía de la fundación es basada por la enseñanza del Buda, pero lo que hace es como todas las religiones.
Driving along the road, litter is found everywhere on both sides. After getting off the car, volunteers walk into a massive village in Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic.
Here is the earliest sugar-producing area. But since the termination of sugar production in 2005, the seniors have changed to grow other crops to make a living, while young people have been doing odd jobs at construction sites. Now, because of the epidemic and without legal status, most of them have been unemployed for a long time.
Without legal status, they cannot receive the government's aids. Without jobs, they even have problems getting food. Tzu Chi volunteers do not give them food packages this time, but a large food box of 18 kilograms to each household.
I'm really very happy and thankful to receive Tzu Chi's food distribution. Thank you very much.
Customs officials who assisted Tzu Chi in collecting anti-epidemic supplies also came to volunteer.
The living condition of Puerto Plata is really bad. I'm very happy to come with Tzu Chi volunteers to help the people in need.
My grandsons have grown up. Now they don't need these toys, so I brought them to give to the children here.
Although life is particularly difficult in this year of pandemic, humanity shines brightly at this moment.
In Chile, due to the pandemic, many disadvantaged families have lost their source of income. City volunteers have prepared 200 lunch boxes at an elementary school. They then distributed hot food to families in need.
现在外面雨下得非常的大，然后那个也因为从早上就开始下雨了，所以现在连那个道路都是积水了。但是我们不怕风也不怕雨，因为明天的任务还是要完成。
5 of us came over here. Fortunately, 4 of us are strong men. They have come to help us.
Under the heavy rain, volunteers moved the supplies onto the van to be delivered to Maria Luisa Elementary School. The cooking oil, flour, noodles, and other supplies are packaged so residents can get them.
We've done a good job today. Tzu Chi's work is done well. In the past few weeks, people have had a hard time. Through praying, we hope that the epidemic can end soon and the world will be free of disasters.
The volunteers have delivered timely assistance and the residents are very grateful.
My child is in 5th grade. I'm very grateful for today's food distribution. We are having a difficult time. I'm very grateful. Thank you very much.
In Concheli, city volunteers have joined a community hot food service for the 6th time. However, this time they face a challenge.
I thought there would be a lot of helpers today. However, only 4 people showed up. So, the 4 of us have to work very hard to prepare food for 200 people.
I do not feel tired. I'm grateful for the chance to do these things.
It is difficult to prepare 200 sets of hot food in a short period of time. Fortunately, the school principal and teachers have helped out, so the volunteers are able to deliver hot lunch boxes to the residents before noon.
Tzu Chi volunteers who live in Chile have come to help cook hot food. If you need it, I can give you 2 sets of hot food.
To thank the volunteers, the students' parents have knit mask fastener for the volunteers.
They have done a great and beautiful job. They did it mindfully. So, we are all people with loving hearts.
Hola, mi nombre es René de la Vega, alcalde de Conchalí, acá en la ciudad de Santiago. La verdad que hemos estado muy contentos con toda la colaboración que hemos recibido constantemente de la Fundación.
I'm very happy that the school and Tzu Chi have been helping the underprivileged families. I really appreciate Tzu Chi Foundation from Taiwan. Thank you for preparing hot food today.
Taiwán, el gran aporte de la Fundación, y la verdad que estamos muy contentos porque la comida que reciben ustedes hoy día está exquisita. Yo me voy a llevar también mi...
So the volunteers have done their share to help the residents get through the difficult times. The amount of used clothing recycling in Taiwan is increasing year by year, but many of these clothes became garbage. Fortunately, 2 fashion designers started to upgrade old clothes into fashionable new items.
那个丢出来就是等于垃圾，但是你也是一个回收量，是增加垃圾的量。目前问题就出在这里。
The amount of recycling also increases the amount of garbage. Tang Jianshong has been engaged in recycling of used clothes for 25 years. However, the impact of fast fashion in recent years has been a challenge. Competitive international market and difficult export market together have made recycled clothes have low durability and a short life cycle. This means that employees doing difficult sorting work may be wasting their time. What can't be sold ends up as garbage with expensive disposal fees.
Many people want to be engaged in a profitable business, but no one wants to do business which loses money. The cost of garbage disposal fee has been increasing, and the price in the international market has been steadily decreasing.
People's clothing has created this waste. A survey of the domestic used clothing recycling industry in Taiwan sees about 72,000 tons of used clothing every year, which amounts to about 3.2 pieces per kilogram, or about 230 million pieces, which is equivalent to 438 pieces discarded per minute. Taipei City, half of the used clothing collected are ultimately incinerated as garbage.
Often the old clothes can be 100% reused. Some of the old clothes have a lot of dirt or grease and may be unusable, so they are reused as a secondary scraps to serve a sofa. If it can be used as rags, then we have to incinerate.
This recycling facility specializes in the recycling of old clothing in Taipei City. Seeing this pile of old clothes, let us examine how the consumers discard old clothes very quickly. Also, because of oversupply in the market, many clothes simply become rubbish. There's even a lot of brand name clothes that look quite good.
Is it wrong to buy fast fashion? Some constantly fear that they need one more piece of clothing item to complete their wardrobe. Fashion designer Tzu Chi has also become addicted to online shopping and has become accustomed to it.
I've been addicted to online shopping as I often buy clothes and wear them once and think they aren't suitable. I always want to wear new clothes.
Tzu Chi and Kuo Menhan are classmates in the Department of Fashion Design. They're quite talented and their work span fields of film, advertising, and theater. In college, they were crazy about buying clothes and making clothes for my homework, but they couldn't actually wear the items after finishing them. They later found old clothes in recycling bins were frequently incinerated as garbage.
At that time, I donated clothes believing that this would help people, but I didn't think there would be so many donated clothes, and now when we bring these old clothes out, they're just burned as garbage. This was actually a shock for me. I just wanted to say, if I don't take my clothes for recycling, can I recycle it myself and reuse it?
At the beginning, we simply thought that we could sell old clothes. But old clothes are super hard to sell because everyone has a lot of old clothes. No one really needs other people's old clothes. So obviously, everyone has an excess of clothes.
Both Tzu Chi and Gao Menfang announced on the internet that they wanted to renovate old clothes through DIY activities. They cut the corners of garments and made cosmetic bags, hair ties, transform children's clothing into garments.
It was originally a jacket, but it was too short to be worn.
Most people usually find difficult to make clothes because they may need professional skills or a lot of time to accumulate experience. But we think that making clothes is actually not that difficult. We just want to ignite the interest in other people.
Designers strive to balance environmental protection and the production of new clothes. While clothing is constantly changing due to bountiful creativity, it is hoped that many people will fall in love with old clothes again.
To promote environmental protection, Jiangsu Tzu Chi volunteers have held a DIY class at the park. They invited parents and children to make fragrance sachets with recycled cloth. Placing cotton and Chinese herb powder into a triangular shaped discarded cloth before sewing it, one completes a handmade fragrance sachet. This DIY class aims to teach children ways to reuse resources.
I've learned a phrase today, turning garbage into treasure. We should cherish usable resources.
In this environment, we can strengthen children's environmental awareness. As they protect the environment, they are practicing the principle we are promoting.
To instill environmental concepts in the children's minds, volunteers have brought props here to test the children.
Usually at home, we also encourage children to sort recyclables apart from garbage. However, the children might not know why they have to do this. Besides children, we parents also have to learn. We hope to improve our environmental sanitation.
Although it rains, the volunteers do seize every opportunity to promote environmental protection. Volunteers take out reusable bags and cups to explain that reducing garbage starts with daily habits. Soon in mid-July, we'll experience the hottest days of the year. Typically, many people will begin to make appointments with TCM doctors for herbal patch therapy.
Nasal allergies are difficult to deal with and are a common problem for this little girl.
My nose will hurt and become itchy, sometimes will be blocked. When you want to blow your nose, if you accidentally blow too hard, then you have nosebleeds.
For the treatment of allergic rhinitis, in addition to the diagnosis and treatment by Western medicine, some people choose to receive herbal patch therapy during the year when it is hottest and the yang is the strongest.
We'll raise her young as this is the general concept of raising her resistance to disease.
TCM practitioners use materials such as white mustard, corydalis, asarum, etc. with ginger juice. They're mixed in proportion, then applied to specific acupuncture points.
After patches applied for 3 to 5 minutes, one will start to feel warm.
When choosing this herbal patch therapy, it is recommended to first let TCM practitioners identify one's constitution. There are several types of people who are particularly unsuitable for treatment, such as young children under 2 years old, people with skin allergies, and pregnant women, and those with a cold.
Usually when we have a cold, we would like to remove bacteria and bad gases from our bodies. If we use these medicines which heat up the body, then it could actually encourage the inflammation of this bacteria.
This elementary school student in Taichung had allergies so severe that it affected her sleep. Last year, after using herbal patch therapy, she could sleep easily through most of the summer vacation without needing additional medicine. Because of this, her parents have already booked a visit to a TCM clinic this year to improve her health.
There's information out there stating that one should not eat pumpkin and papaya together. It is because pumpkin will decompose vitamin C with its enzymes. Let's hear what a nutritionist has to say about this.
阿妈，你有听过木瓜跟南瓜不能一起吃吗？
有。为什么？会中毒。
那你有听过吗？
没有听过，没听过。
没有为什么不行？
On the internet, there are tons of articles out there saying pumpkin and papaya should not be eaten together because papaya is full of vitamin C and pumpkin has a vitamin C decomposition enzyme, which will cancel out the benefits of papaya.
Actually, many vegetables have the decomposition enzyme property, though this means many of the foods cannot be eaten together. The first point is to enhance the decomposition enzyme. Many elements need to come together, so will it work as the proper degrading enzyme is the second point. If you are looking to meet daily requirements for vitamin C, you don't really need to worry about whether picking to eat both of these foods will influence your daily vitamin C requirement.
So then what's the best way to consume vitamin C so that the body fully absorbs it? The nutritionist says this.
Vitamin C is unable to survive in hot temperatures, so it's best to eat it at room temperature or cold during the summer. People can either eat a standard one serving or approximately the size of a female fist. One standard serving is 300 cc of a bowl, which one should fill to about 60 to 80% full, and to eat this in between meals.
This nutritionist also suggests besides papaya and pumpkin, kiwi, guava, and citrus fruits are also high in vitamin C. If one gets plenty of vitamin C from different foods, then having a balanced diet is not a problem.
Palace Museum's Children's Center is utilizing digital technology to introduce cultural antiques to children. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.